Howdy ho there. Alright, so we got out rogue robbing, and it's time to talk about the fantastic metagame. Remember, we always are hiding Easter eggs in here. Exodus trading card game. Very interesting. Very interesting. So remember, as with part 1 of the metagame yesterday, let's not forget my fantastic books. Trickstar's Art of the Trick and Fist Me a Daddy. Available in 2034 when I can get copyright claims for my weird, sadistic book writing habits. Well, let's dig on into that discussion, shall we? I think it's always best to leave the rogue discussions to Camo Robbie because for some reason he seems to know what he's talking about. Now we talked about your typical metagame discussion yesterday of Sky Strikers, Altergeist, True Draco, Trickstars, Invoked, and Goki potentially being good decks. Alright, cool. Summarize that. Now let's talk about the big boy in the room. Rogue. First one I want to talk about is this Morphing Jar card destruction bullshit. Now, there's been talk on the street by maybe one person that Deck Out is back. I don't know how many of you know about Deck Out or have experienced Deck Out. Morphing Jar and card destruction should not exist in the same format. Konami did something interesting. They fixed Chain Burn by limiting Chain Strike, but then you bring back card destruction and Morphing Jar in the same format. I ask you as a concerned rogue player, why do I want to lose to 80 Changer, Morphing Jar, Book of Moon, recyclability, Serial Spell recycling, card destructions, and my opponent decks me out as I did not open a hand trap? I think Konami's major concern with bringing this back was everybody should have an Ash Blossom at this point. I don't think that to be the case at all. Yes, you have the need and the ability to stop Morphing Jar and Ash Blossom, or Morphing Jar and card destruction via the effect of these particular cards. Now, that brings me to another point. This deck probably won't succeed. This is probably just a notable point that you should be aware that the deck exists in its current iteration. Being uneducated is like being caught with your pants down in the toilet during a zombie apocalypse. I don't recommend it. Alright, we've all seen where that goes. There's a movie called Stalled on Netflix that's incredibly terrible for this exact situation. If you want to waste an hour and a half of your life watching a guy be stuck in a bathroom during a zombie apocalypse, Stalled is for you. Alright, so that's the first point I need to make. Number 2, heroes. Now, this is pure hero. This isn't hero playing Goki. This is the I'm going to be the best like no one ever was hero. This is the guy that hasn't played Yu-Gi-Oh! In 3 years, saw that Stratos is back, ran into his closet, dusted off his hero deck, put on his dual disc, and ran down the streets yelling, I'm the best around. Alright, let's be real. That was all of us when Stratos came back last Thursday night. But people want to play heroes again. In any iteration or whatnot, it was unfair that we lost to Hero Lives, but Dark Law needed to be checked in directly with this return of our homie, which is perfectly fine. I respect what Konami made an attempt to do with that deck, but you need to be aware, once again, this is just one of those, hey, Robbie thinks that this might be an issue. Listen to him. I think, oddly enough, that being caught, once again, Stalled comes to my mind. Being aware that your opponent can Dark Law you in a rogue deck, understand that Solid Man, Dion, Anki, the whole engine itself doesn't seem that strong, but let's be real here for a second. If you don't know what you're doing against the deck, you're going to lose. You know how many people have asked me what Fossil Dyna does at events? I don't even need to, I never thought there'd be a time where I need to explain why such a good card like Fossil Dyna does. But there are new players in this game, and there are a lot of people that need to understand that because of these new players, you need to be aware of what heroes do. Dark Law. Like, honestly, that is all I can tell you at this current point in time. I don't think that the deck will be good. I think the deck's in the same category as Deck Out. It might ruin your day at locals. Should be about it, right? But I might be eating those words soon enough. So there is that. Now, the next one is a question mark. And I don't know where this falls because for some reason Spirals always seem to show up in some capacity. I've kind of just stopped caring about this deck at this point, but the deck is still here. Alright? Spirals have undergone like 35 evolutions, and I've even gone so far as to compare Spirals to Goki. The decks do the same fucking thing. They both want to make an attempt to U-Link, or they want to use their mass resource pool to kind of, play the game. Well, unfortunately, they lost Goblin. And Terraforming. Good hits. Good hits. But somebody out there is still going to make a combo video with the deck. Somebody's still going to show off, hey, Spirals can still do X crazy thing. And because Spirals are so cheap compared to the rest of the potential tier meta, honestly, I think it's wrong to put Spirals at like a low tier 2, but they're there in tier 2 because if you don't open the hand trap against them, they're going. There's no stopping them. Once again, this is just another, hey, be aware of this deck. Spiral's still a very, very roguish pick, and if you're caught with your pants down, I think the love for Spirals is crazy. I didn't actually think that Spirals would have such a following. It's almost like they're kind of like heroes at this stage. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to compare heroes to, Spirals, but both decks have a lot of good combo ability. Both decks have dedicated player bases, and I'll respect that. I think that's really, really cool. But for the most part, still be aware that Spirals still have a lot of combos, a lot of 2-3 card combos. The deck didn't really care about certain things getting hit, but we are at this point in time needing to be aware that, hey, Spirals are still here. They're sitting in the back of the room staring at you. Super Agent's wondering when his next mission is going to be, so you should probably give him one. Who doesn't love these decks? Now, this one should have probably been much higher on the tier list. And this one is actually Cyber Dragons. So, Cyber Dragons existed to break the potential U-Lock. Your opponent would extra link you with Goki. You would go Chimera Tech, Mega Fortress, or Mega Fleet, and you would rip off both of them, turning off the Tri-Gate and allowing you to continue to play the game, essentially. That's exactly what a lot of players needed. Well, what happens when the U-Link disappears? Do Cyber Dragons continue to be a relevant deck? What's going on here? I don't have an answer for this, but Cyber Dragons are a fantastic going second deck. I believe they're getting a new chunk of support here soon in the Duelist pack. I don't know how relevant they're going to be for the 200th, but you have a very good going second deck. If somebody does resolve to make a U-Lock or U-Link on you and lock you out of the game, well, lo and behold, there'll probably be a Cyber Dragon player sitting around the room trying to OTK. Not really much else to really say about this deck, honestly. I think that Cyber Dragons are still a very good rogue metagame choice. The price tag on the deck is, whew. If I had a choice between Spirals and Cyber Dragons, I'd pick up Spirals all day long. Just because, I like Spirals combo ability, but Cyber Dragon's price tag is just so high for no reason. Considering all the stuff that you need to get, even like in lowest rarity, it still becomes incredibly ridiculous in the long run. So, just my 2 cents on that deck. Now, next up is Dino DNA. Now, let's be completely honest here. I think of everything on this list besides heroes, this deck will probably have the highest representation of really anything going forward out there. Searching for Lost World being, is it Lost World? Whatever. Field spell that gives your opponent a token. It's the one that contradicts and fucks with Sky Striker. This is actually pretty fucking good. Being able to directly interfere with your opponent's main monster zones built into the main deck, oh, fucking fantastic. I do think that dinosaurs will see some play. I think that they'll probably be the best deck, if not one of the better rogue decks. I'm definitely, besides heroes, definitely think dinosaurs are up here on this list. Maybe Cyber Dragons could potentially be better than them, let's be honest. But for the most part, at this current point in time, just be prepared to pick up dinosaurs. Have them laying to the side. I've seen there's the True King build. There's more pure builds going around. It just kind of depends on what's your cup of tea and what you want to play. Now, next up is Danger. I'm in Danger. So, I'm not exactly sure where this deck's going to fall. Danger, Burning Abyss, hell, even, yeah, BA, Danger. Card Destruction helped out these decks a lot, and I cannot stress that enough. I've seen a lot of top 16 finishes, a lot of top 32 finishes from this deck. I don't know if the deck can close out and win a regional at this current point in time, but be aware that the deck is still there. The deck is only getting more support in the future. I'm kind of scared to see what the next wave of support is going to do, because we could have a perfect meta today, and then tomorrow it could all be ruined because the next 4 to 5 danger cards are dangerous for the game. No pun intended, but keep it for what it is. Just be aware that BA and Danger did get random ass rogue upgrades. The last one I want to include on this list is going to be Blue Eyes. Now, Blue Eyes is worth mentioning because they are getting their next wave of support in the Duels pack. They get the little bingo machine, and then to top things off, the next ritual monster that is a pain in the competitive player's ass. Blue Eyes Chaos Max is certainly harder to out, but things like Lightning do exist in the current metagame to stop these threats. So just be aware, in the long run, Blue Eyes will probably be there. The deck is very expensive. The deck does not have a cheap price tag. If people picked up the deck, it was at a lower price point because they were an avid Blue Eyes fan from the anime, and they loved the deck. So cheers if you beat the curve and you already have a Blue Eyes deck. Because honestly, you did very, very, very good for yourself on that investment. I will say that. Blue Eyes is so expensive. But Chaos Max, that's all you really need. I mean, I'm sure Kaijus will come back at some point, but it is what it is. So, that is all I have for this discussion. Now, there are probably way more decks out there worth mentioning. I understand that. I can't physically cover them all, but that's for your imagination. So, guys, leave a comment down below. Tell me if I've missed something out there. I want to see where Deck Out and Heroes go this format, because those are the ones I'm most intrigued with. So, alright guys, Rograbi out, and I definitely can't wait to explore Exodus, honestly. Alright guys, I'm out. Peace. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel, and join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. We'll be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.